Hey, welcome back to What Elon Said. Today is May 19th, 2022 on Thursday, and we've got quite the show. The fireworks are brewing. We have Tesla is officially out of the S&P 500 ESG index, if I didn't even know that existed before, but it got a lot of people fired up. And we also talk a little bit about some political flames brewing, as well as some Ender Game. So not Ender Game.
Elder
Game.
Elder Ring.
Elden Ring. Yes.
Yeah.
We all three of those.
Elden Games and Elder Rings. They're all in here. So
they're all in there. So let's jump into
let's get going here.
It's all games, this stuff. So what do we have here, Kevin?
We got first up Eric Balchunas putting out a Bloomberg article here saying Tesla's been kicked out of the S&P 500 ESG index. And like you said, this just seemed to light a fuse to the Tesla community powder keg here, because it just blew up. And then followed up with, here are the top holdings of the index, and a lot of big names in there, but notably some like fossil fuel companies. Exxon is in the top 10. I believe there's some other OEM car manufacturers in there. And Elon just straight out responded with, ESG is an outrageous scam. Shame on S&P Global.
It is a little ridiculous. Although I never knew how much weight the S&P 500 ESG index had, or why it was such a big deal. I never see it mentioned, but it was got him going, and everyone else. The mayhem begins.
It definitely did. It's not something that he's shied away from, especially
now.
And I'd say like the last year or so. But man, this just poured fuel on the fire.
Yeah, and
regards to his opinion.
Definitely. 5 oil and gas companies were added to the index, as opposed to Tesla being taken away. Phillips 66, known as the ESG company of the year. It is really bonkers. I gotta agree.
Yeah.
I like how they put the last one, EOG Resources, FKA Enron.
Formerly known as the one, the one and most infamous.
Yeah, and Elon's just more insane. It just goes on, and then people really get crazed. Like it says the ratings have lost their integrity, even Fox's, and credibility. Yes, Elon's agreeing with everyone. Like this is like a church service.
Yes,
hallelujah. Yes.
And he's saying it's been weaponized by phony social justice warriors, and that it's lost its integrity. And then has a meme here of despite Tesla doing more for the environment than any other company, got what's an ESG score? Oh, it determines how compliant your business is with the leftist agenda. And oh boy, that then set off.
Then it started. Man.
The Rock's eyes there say it all, I would say.
the look that lit up Twitter. That is how everyone looked at that point. My eyes popped out of my head. I'm like, man, he's really going out of control.
I don't know. It's hard. I mean, I think there's a lot of initial just knee-jerk reactions going on here without diving into how the scoring works and how the whole process works. I don't know. But I feel pretty firmly that you can't have something called an environmental, social, and governance metric and not include the one company that is pulling the entire fossil fuels industry towards sustainable energy. I don't know.
It's and I don't know what the social and governance part of it represents, and that they said that was the reason he was out, but I don't know what the weighting is of each. So basically, you have to be. I don't know why those three are lumped into the same area. Environmentally save the planet and be nice. Those are the requirements.
Mhm.
Should be
And
interesting.
apparently, all of these other companies are very nice, as well as doing more for the company or for the environment than
Oh
Tesla.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Uh, and Kathy Wood got involved here. She said ridiculous, not worthy of any other response. Just by putting it out there, he agreed with her. And then the line of the day: a clear case of whacktivism.
Yeah, that's a new one. That's a new.
That's a good one.
I
And
don't
he
know.
kept
Maybe
going.
not new. Got to dig into its origins
Yes,
on
yes,
Urban Dictionary, but yeah, she
yeah.
says what I love most about whacktivists is their incredible sense of humor. Little angel there.
Puts a little step back from the anger, just a little
Yeah.
sarcasm.
Uh,
And then then we get more politics. Politics attacks on me will escalate dramatically in the coming months.
yeah.
Shibatashi Nakamoto says Elon Musk wants to improve the world for humanity. What an asshole. We at Garbage Political Party think helping the world is bad and prove it with our actions. Give us money. Again, this is him saying this, not me. And then Elon said, pretty much dirty tricks attacks will be next level. So, I mean, for me, I gotta say, this is diving into conspiracy or like there's attacks planned on me.
Mhm.
Maybe it's true, but this is getting into crazy area discussions on Twitter.
It is, and I think to some extent he's just making it worse with all this commentary. But then again, he's a guy on Twitter, and he's expressing his mind, and that should should be allowed. And I don't know
That's
that it
true.
should be subdued. But it's open to debate on how
Yeah. Well,
effective
the
this
problem
type of
is
approach would be
he's the he's
resolving
a
it.
guy that airing his dirty laundry on Twitter, but also he's the guy that's buying Twitter. So
Mm,
you expect him to be a little quieter about it, but it's not happening.
yeah. And so we have Paul Graham here saying that it's bizarre at that last sentence there. I have to say that when I asked someone with a lot of experience in freedom of speech issues which universities to avoid, Yale was the first he mentioned. Okay, so this was related. We kind of skipped ahead
Yeah,
here.
we skipped the order of it a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Elon had respond. I think it's here. Yeah. So Howard Forum of Yale University, I believe, says when you're explicitly political, you should expect people to treat you as much. Which part of that is confusing to you? And Elon responded and said, I'm not surprised at all. That was to inoculate his statement about things are about to get next level and the attacks are coming. He was just saying that's to inoculate the public. As a prominent vaccine advocate, you should understand that. Yale is the epicenter of the woke mind virus attempting to destroy civilization. Holy moly, strong words
Yeah, now
there.
it's getting
And
but when he says those two things, it sounds like he's lumping vaccine in with uh phoniness and
mm,
wokeism.
mhm,
I
yeah.
don't know. It's getting
Even though
bizarre.
he's backpedaled on his previous like vaccine statements and said,
Yeah.
um,
So
man, I would really actually like to hear specifically because if you start to really try to verbalize, you should start to converse about what is wokeism and what is this woke virus and activist Olympics and stuff. What specifically does that mean? And as I try to verbalize that and think through that, it's very it's challenging for me to do a good job with that. And I would really like for him to just say, here's my issue with wokeism. Here's how I define wokeism. Here's what the trouble that I think it is causing in society, and here's how I think we can fix it. I mean, I think we're pretty understanding of how he thinks you can fix it through free speech, but yeah, I'd like to just hear him expound a little bit on what he thinks is wokeism and what the issue is with it.
well, yeah, definitely. And and by saying these things, honestly, they don't advertise for SpaceX or for Tesla, and this is their advertising, the image of the company, and
Mm.
he is the company's image.
In many
So
ways, yeah.
this is I don't know, this is harmful for Tesla and the cause that we believe in, of the true, cause, the companies that he has, that hopefully this doesn't harm it in some way.
Yes, I don't think right now that it is harming it. I don't know. Maybe it is. Since the start of the Twitter acquisition move, things have been pretty tumultuous in the markets. But we've also seen the markets be pretty tumultuous, especially for high growth companies in the last 12 to 18 months.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm not even saying thinking the markets. I'm just thinking of future sales of Teslas, or people wanting to buy their cars or
now, I have
services.
this theory too. Not to say that Elon is this far ahead in moves, but I do wonder if some of this pushback on the left and sort of accepting in some ways of right mentality is partly to try to break down barriers, irrational barriers that the right might have in regards to sustainable energy and electric vehicles. And
Mm.
so now it's like the left already believes in climate change, is already taking action, or should be, based on
That
their
was their
political
cause.
philosophy, taking
Yes.
action on it, where the right has traditionally been pushing back. But now you have the leader of that whole movement
Yeah,
acknowledging the right and
that's
saying,
right.
"Look, these guys are kind of messed up over here. Come buy a Tesla," or here's also what we're doing with sustainable energy and EVs. And I could almost see the right being a little bit more accepting of Tesla's mission now because of all
And
this.
you're right. That's genius. That could all be a 3D chess move of
Yeah,
going
I mean,
forward.
again, I don't want to get like too conspiracy theory with this because I think that would ultimately not be a good look for Elon if he had like plotted this all out. Um, but I think that could be a secondary sort of um, advantage to it, or outcome maybe that could
Yes.
help Tesla.
Yeah, that's great theory. I think that might be the cause. Now I think of it in that way, because you're right. He's winning over the other contingent for their vehicles, and eventually over time will win back the other side.
Yeah,
So we shall see.
I
I'm
don't
going to
know.
look at it through that lens now. But going right back towards fuming the fires, along what you're saying, he pinned this tweet after initially posting it. So this is a definitive line in the sand statement. In the past, I voted Democrat because they were mostly the kindness party, but they have become the party of division and hate. So I can no longer support them and will vote Republican. Now watch the dirty tricks campaigns against me unfold.
Mm.
Like, but he's saying that if he was Democrat, then the Republicans never had dirty tricks. It's only the
Yeah.
Democrats.
You know what? I read a lot of the comments underneath this one, and one that stuck out to me was from Andrew Yang, who says,
uh,
"There's more than two ways, Elon."
I thought, as soon as I read this, I honestly was hoping he would say the line, "I am now a libertarian." Actually, I was hoping he would say,
Yeah.
but
Or I'm
you're right.
starting my own political
We're
movement.
starting. That's right. But yes, I was surprised he associated with himself with the Republican side when he was disagreeing with the Democrats.
Yeah.
That stood right out to me. Andrew Yang is totally right. Of course, Andrew Yang is starting his own party, but it's that is a glaring. That's probably the most glaring thing to me, that he's joining what I agree. I think is another crazy party. They're both crazy.
Now this comment here, I would say, aligns with that conspiracy theory that maybe he is doing this just to try to win over Republican voters
Yeah,
for Tesla's mission.
and he'll say he'll vote. This not to dwell on this too long, but in the 2016 presidential campaign, Scott Adams started posting a lot and was having more not like mind game things. He was posting about what Trump was doing. He thought he was a genius for the way he was doing it. And he kept saying, I don't necessarily agree with his politics, but he's doing it. And he was so lambasted for supporting Trump's way of doing things from a psychological point of view.
Yeah.
And in the end, he said, you know what? I'm just voting. I was going to vote for Hillary, but I was just voting for Trump. And
Yeah.
ever since then, he's been labeled a very right wing person.
Yeah, extreme right wing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like a similar story going on here.
yeah,
Um, we shall see, but it'll certainly be entertaining. Uh, I for the foreseeable future, at least through the election here of 22, if not 24. And Elon saying, "Get out the popcorn, folks."
yes,
And someone asked, what's going on with the popcorn, and Shibatoshi Nakamoto says Elon basically did the equivalent of shouting fire in a theater by stirring the political bee's nest on Twitter, and is now eating popcorn, watching the meltdowns.
oh yeah, or the
And,
sting attacks too. Yes,
and he had some
interesting.
salt there too.
Pranay Pathal says that it makes sense why Elon doesn't want to vote for Democrats. Biden doesn't invite Tesla to the EV summit, while Tesla is being the largest EV manufacturer. AOC, Warren, and Sanders say that Elon doesn't pay taxes, whereas in 2021 he paid $11 billion. Hate mongering against Elon is crazy.
Yeah.
And then Elon says, "Yep," and then he's getting salt for his popcorn now.
So back to how do you think he defines wokeism? I think these are all examples of it. Like
Yes,
he just can't this is not making sense. I can't, like, there's too much just political tribalism, irrational anger, blurring your vision. And it's impacting me and our company's mission.
that's right. That's right.
Mm.
And and Biden was always Obama was always on his supported him.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate the way things are evolving. Yeah. And here's a comment to that saying someone said my friends are graduated, married, homeowners, business owners is the elves, and then actually it wasn't even to the other. And then here's the Elden Lord right above. Elon like that little break up in the humor here.
Yeah. I gotta say that Naive Cat is one of my favorite follows. Just the ridiculous content is so humorous and so well done in like a kind of silly way that yeah, always good for a meme slash like short movie.
Yes. And Lex Friedman apparently is a player as well. He's saying the simulation is fun.
Oh yeah, I didn't catch that over there. Yeah. But so back to real Tesla news.
Yes.
We've got this is pretty big news actually. That the select supercharger stations are now open to non-Tesla EVs in Belgium, the UK, Austria, Spain, and Sweden. So a number of EU countries. There was, I think, a map associated with this showing a lot of the locations. Very, very dense in the Belgium area.
For superchargers?
Yeah.
So I was wondering why they decided to open up the supercharger stations now when they're about to ramp up the number of Teslas that will be in Europe. So you would think that they would need those superchargers to just even meet the demands of their own customers, let alone others. I mean, if I pulled up to a Tesla supercharger with my Tesla and there was BMW charging there, I wouldn't be too happy.
Yeah, especially if you're waiting in line. Which I think has been an issue in some of the locations in the U.S.
That's right.
But I think it's I don't know how the business model works there, whether they charge more for non-Teslas, but I'm sure that it's just a business opportunity. Maybe upsets some Tesla customers, but ultimately is good for EVs and good for the company.
Yes, it's a goodwill.
Yeah, and I mean, they just got to keep expanding the supercharger network. What needs to happen? Which is strange. They're the only ones doing it. I mean, think of that. If a single company, like let's think 10 years down the line, the way things are going right now. I mean, we're both Tesla bulls, I'd say. What if you had a single like gas powered car company that owned pretty much all the vehicles and all the gas stations on the road?
Yes. Yeah. That would be little running the whole show. That's right.
I know the markets are looking rough right now, but
Yeah. Down the
they
line,
want to
they control it
consider
all.
buying at least one share of Tesla
That's
to see how
right.
it goes for you by 2030.
Here we have Tesla updated the Tesla Vision page on their website. The new auto steer limit will be 85 miles per hour. Now, I don't know what it was before, but that seems very fast.
Yeah.
That for auto steering, it's pretty
Mhm.
amazing. So
Yeah, I think that's
it's getting
good though. I mean, some of the videos that I watch of FSD and Autopilot 2, it seems that the speed goes on the conservative side, which rightfully so. We're talking automated vehicles here, but I think in order for mass adoption to truly take place, it needs to be pretty seamless in terms of driving like a human. And one of those things is, driving in the flow of traffic, knowing what the speed limit is. I think it knows that, but driving up to and maybe even slightly above the speed limit to keep up with traffic.
You're right. And 85 is, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of roads that cars are going 85. So I don't know if it weighs in the factors that the speed limit's 65 here, but every car on the road is going 85. So it would be detrimental to drive at
Right.
65. I don't know. I don't know if
Right.
it
It
does
could
break the
become
law.
less safe going at too low of a speed in certain
That's
traffic.
true. And I know there are a few places in the US where 85 is the speed limit. So maybe it just did that to meet those
Yeah.
locations.
Yep. And it'll be good for the Autobahn too.
Yes.
Here we have just a video posted from Tesla of a ship loaded with 4,000 vehicles produced by Tesla's Gigafactory Shanghai that was leaving the port for Belgium on Sunday. Just saying, hey, here they come. And yeah, Shanghai is really cranking them out, up and running full bore again, I believe. And yeah, just cool montage video of all the Teslas moving out.
Going in. Now, this is one that's one hell of a long journey, but two, we should see much less of this going forward as Berlin ramps
Yeah.
up. So this is probably one of the last times we'll see this much cargo going from China to Europe. I would think.
Yeah, me too. I
For
mean, I
vehicles.
think in another year or so, but
Yes.
it's to Elon's point that we need to build locally because this is a huge inhibitor to getting the vehicles out around the world. There's demand all around the world, and when you have to move them, it's just
Yeah.
adds complexity to the whole network.
And
So.
and environmentally
Oh yeah, impact
unfriendly.
too. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. This looks like it was
Well,
from the All In podcast.
yeah, a little back to Twitter from the other day. I know we haven't posted in a couple of days due to technical problems, but this this is back to him saying that 5%, is what Twitter's saying, and he said he compared it to a house. So if I agree to buy your house, you say the house has less than 5% termites, but if it turns out it's 90% termites, it's not the same house.
Yeah.
So he's saying, I want to make sure I'm buying what I'm buying. And then he followed that saying, I'm not going to buy the Brooklyn Bridge.
Right. I've had a lot more thoughts about this in the last couple days. Where initially I was like, wow, that's a lot. That could be a lot of bots and spam stuff. But man, I don't know. My experience, I've been paying more attention to my experience with the bots and spam accounts, and it is really, really bad. It's like, and if you do some math too and scale up, like, uh, just number of users that just you as an average user of Twitter have. I mean, I'm pretty low profile with minimal followers and stuff, and already like have more than 5%. Like,
yeah,
extremely
it's
low. Yeah.
crazy. Can you imagine if he buys it and then within, I mean, just making this up, but within 30 days after he buys it, all of a sudden all the bots are gone. Problem
Yeah,
solved immediately.
and we're down to like less than 100 million actual users. Man,
Yes.
I don't know. Could happen.
Could happen.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, so I'll take this here. This was Tim Urban saying the big winner in The Boy Who Cried Wolf was the wolf. And Elon says 100%, and they're quoting Nate Silver here, who said it seems like it should be easier for people to understand that over applying the disinformation label to stuff that's standard issue partisan spin makes it less credible when applied to truly dangerous stuff like conspiracy theories about vaccines or election fraud. So yeah, I think a jab at mainstream media and at social media companies with the warnings about disinformation just out there sort of everywhere on a lot of stuff kind of takes away from the word disinformation and the warning itself.
That's right. That's right.
More
And
big
yeah,
news.
yeah, this is standard news. It's
Just
almost every
happening in the
day we're seeing
background.
just, another batch of Starlinks reach orbit. I always think it's funny that their biggest customers themselves, but they keep launching this up there. They're the ones who figured out what to do with space. And just, 10 years from now, it'll just be pretty much, well, everyone will have Starlink.
Okay, so now we have a car company or car company, right? Or a seeming car company that owns
Yeah,
that will own all the cars and all the gas stations on the road. And then you also have a seeming rocket company that will um, whose business is just for themselves. Okay,
that's
own
right.
all the satellites, the communication network, the way to get
Yeah,
into space,
probably
and
the hotels in space.
yeah,
I
I don't know.
don't know. I don't know. So it's getting a monopoly in every industry.
Yeah.
Maybe they will be worth 10 trillion.
True.
Here is a little flashback for, speaking of where Falcon was today and the previous one with satellite daily launches almost. And here's 10 years ago, Elon like this, just before launch attempt number 1 at Cape Canaveral. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Definitely cool. And speaking of cool, this was World of Engineering just putting out there something Elon liked. Did you know that 100,000,001 is divisible by 17?
Very interesting.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like it would be, but somewhere in the 5 million.
That's right. Here was initially meant to end on this, but it's over here. That is just a saying, reflecting on everything that's been happening on Twitter lately, that you empower people by telling them the truth. A thought from the Stoic Emperor.
Mm-hmm. He loves himself some Stoic Emperor.
Oh, yes.
And then just a couple fun ones. A meme from Elon saying, "When I Uber Eats, I am summoning them like Dark Soul." And then I did like this one from Doge Norway that someone gets a tweet, "I'm here for you," and the responder says, "Thanks, I'm going through a rough time, but I lost all my contacts. Who is this again?" And it says, "This is your Uber driver. I'm here to pick you up." Yeah.
And here we have Shibatoshi Nakamoto. Try the right direction sometimes. It's scary, and you won't necessarily like the answers, but it'll help you see things more clearly through all the bullshit and black and white thinking that we are primed to emotionally react to.
Yeah.
And then everyone goes to the simple but wrong. No one wants to go down the tougher road of finding the right answer through first principles.
Yeah, now I would say that I've seen some what I consider close personalities on Twitter to Elon, giving a little bit of pushback to these motions that he's making.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm sure
know.
that one there seems like a little bit. I mean, I think it's a critique of people in general and the masses, but maybe also some self-reflection here that, all right, well, things aren't so black and white. So maybe there's other parties that can be involved here.
And they show the person who's thinking for himself with the book, and he's
Mm-hmm.
going his way rather than just following everyone.
Yeah, good stuff. And then I think this ends it here. Shibatoshi Nakamoto saying, "May good things come to you." So yeah, we're gonna end it on a positive note.
Oh yes. So that was a hot one today.
Hot
There
one.
was a lot going on. We'll see now how people react and how he reacts to it, more likely, because we just cover what Elon said, not what everyone else is saying.
Yes, for sure. And hope you enjoyed the episode and our commentary on it. And if you did, give us a like, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks for
See
watching.
you then.